the Daily Telegraph columnist and blogger to The Nation, Tim Blair, and Mark Nicholson, the animator from Stepmates Studios. Thanks for joining us again, fellas. You're both in Victoria. This cracks me up. We got this horrible conflagration in the Middle East with Israel's war with Hamas. You've got shuttle diplomacy from the United States trying to bring it to a resolution. You've got the United Nations and Security Council constantly dealing with it. But it's the Suburban Council of Brimbank in Western Victoria which has passed a resolution calling for a ceasefire and in solidarity for the Palestinian people. Tim, do you think this will be the breakthrough that solves the Middle East crisis?
Well, I don't know about what sort of contacts you guys have got, but I was on the phone to Tel Aviv earlier, and all I can talk about there is the Brimbank resolution. It's kind of you can't cross the street without people pulling you up and demanding their opinion on the resolution, and which stupid Green councillor is going to vote which way or the other. This is this has been going on for a long time in Australian councils. We had in Sydney, I think. A lot of inner western, it's always inner western councils who have been for years making all manner of resolutions about the Middle East while forgetting to pick up garbage. Yeah,
I forget that. Before I come to you, Mark, I'll just show you a little bit from Councillor Virginia Tahos. I mean, we ought to get to know her because she could win the next Nobel Peace Prize.
It is relevant when my constituents who voted for their voices to be represented in the chamber express complete despair, deep unfathomable pain for the immense loss of life, the displacement and the reality that their families and loved ones face daily.
Good Lord. Now, Mark, we all know this is a serious life and death issue, but they make a mockery of it, they don't, getting above their station.
Well, the thing is, you and I have been at the forefront of this. We've been screaming out. The silence from the Brimbank City Council has been deafening on the Gaza issue. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Finally, the people of Sunbury have spoken. And they've put aside the bins, put away the parks. Don't worry about the playgrounds, guys. Let's just focus in on the Middle East. That's what's important. I just find it mind blowing. But imagine if it worked. Imagine if Israel woke up tomorrow and went, we've got to do it. We've got to stop.
We've got to go with the Brimbank resolution. We can only live in hope because I tell you what, the American president nor his hopeful successor waiting in the wings is going to be able to solve it. Here's Kamala Harris.
What do you say to those concerns, and specifically if he had to pass the powers to you for 1 second, 1 minute, heaven forbid, and I ask with all due respect, but are you capable? Are you ready to step into the role and do whatever the country would need?
Absolutely ready. But thank God our president is in good shape, in good health, and is ready to lead in our second term.
Mark, she doesn't really believe he's in good shape and she's not really hoping he'll keep going. She's stretching the hammies and rolling the arm over.
Mate, she can't lie, let alone lead. And even if she says that, she's ready, I don't think the world is, to be fair. Like, she's on another planet.
We had a clip earlier of just how feeble Joe Biden's been looking over the last 24 hours. But there's a great story that's doing the rounds that's shown everyone a little bit of giving us an insight into his diary. His working day is pretty slack, to say the least. He starts off with at 7 a.m. He gets up early enough. And someone wakes him up. But then he has a mobility workout with a special physician to help warm him up and get him ready. He doesn't turn up at the office till 10 o'clock in the morning, and he ends the working day about 5 o'clock. They try and squeeze all these events into the middle of the day when he's at his sharpest, and then he has dinner with his wife at 7. They say he goes to bed at 11, but Tim, I reckon they're spinning there. I reckon he might go to bed a bit earlier than that.
Just a little bit earlier. 11 a.m. might be the schedule on some occasions. I think as well, a lot of our older viewers who might be looking at Sky through their communal televisions in some of the old age homes in our community, they would not be unfamiliar with the phrase mobility workout. It's quite often a form of words you'll find in around about exercise time in the early afternoon, and good on them for going for it.
Yes, indeed, and someone's got to limber him up.